did you get this much tension in your pelvic floor? Okay, that's kind of what I get asked a lot. Like, why am I hypertonicic? Why do I carry all this tension in my pelvic floor? Now that I've figured it out and I've learned how to release and manage this release, how do I know it's not going to happen again? Well, you have to get down to the root of it. You have to figure out why your pelvic floor was holding all this tension in the first place. In order to do that, you need to realize why it is doing it. And it's doing it, the main reason why the pelvic floor has this hyper tension and holds all this tension is because it overworks. And it overworks to compensate for muscles that are surrounding it. So this is equivalent to your body is going to do a function. It's going to move. It's going to lift an object, okay? It doesn't necessarily mean that the muscles that should be doing that action are going to work correctly. And if those muscles aren't correctly functioning, other muscles that shouldn't be doing that job are going to kick in. And when this happens, it causes muscle imbalances within your body. It also then causes tension and dysfunction with other muscles, okay? So you have prime movers and you have assisters. If those prime movers are not doing their job, those assisters are going to try to take over. And when they do that, it's going to cause this imbalance within your body. And when you have an imbalance, you are going to hold more tension in your body because your body is just not functioning in the best, most optimal way it could. So back to the pelvic floor. Remember its jobs, okay? It's got a lot of jobs. It's also a pelvic stabilizer, but it's not the only pelvic stabilizer. You have other muscles that also need to be stabilizing that pelvis. And if they're not, that pelvic floor tends to take over for those muscles and then overworks itself. And just like anyone that overworks themselves, they become tired, they become fatigued, tension, they get discomforts, they get aches and pains. So this is what the pelvic floor does. The weaker muscles, or at least some of the weaker muscles that I'm talking about, that it might be compensating for are the deep abs, the glute muscles, the inner thighs. So those are just a couple to kind of think about, or a couple of general common ones that you would know. Those muscles need to be working, they need to be functional, they need to be strong, they need to not be holding tension so they're not dysfunctional. So the pelvic floor and them can all work together in unison and avoid these muscle imbalances that are also then affecting your joints. So that is how you probably became hypertensive in your pelvic floor muscles. So just like with the tension release management plan, you are going to really focus on making sure that you are not holding tension in those other muscles that also need to be working. And if they have resulted in a weakness, so if they are weak because they've been holding tension or they're not firing like they should, we are going to work on an intentional total body strengthening plan. Stay tuned for the next video.